Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Listen, another police officer goes into a black woman's home and kills her. Another black person, unarmed, in their own home, is killed by a police officer. What kind of training are these people getting? I don't understand this. I mean, are we going to have to sue the police departments for terrible training or what? Well, anyway, just like the Amber Geiger case, I was telling y'all another video about unbiblical forgiveness and how we need to pursue justice for people that do this kind of stuff so that these things don't happen again. Because when a police officer is trigger happy against a certain people, they can do it and get away with it. They feel like they have immunity to it. Now, this police officer is different from the Amber Geiger. This is an on-duty police officer, right? So guess what? They're not going to do no time. Amber Geiger was off duty when she did this. When she killed that black dude. But the forgiveness evangelists should be out here forgiving. Now, according to them, we shouldn't even press charges. We should just forgive them and let it just bygones be bygones. Right? But we can't do that. We can't do that because God wants us to pursue justice and righteousness. Okay? If we just let people do stuff and commit crime and let them get away with it, well then there's no need for police officers, there's no need for the government, there's no need for prisons, and there's no need for jails because we just gonna forgive everybody for any unjust thing that they do. Okay? So now, we've got to pursue justice so that these people don't see it light sentencing as okay, I can go do it with immunity. Now, Jesus tells a story in Luke chapter 18. Luke chapter 18, I want y'all to check it out. Because in Luke chapter 17, he talks about the order of forgiveness. If a brother sins against you, he says, rebuke him, and then if he asks for forgiveness, forgive him. If he asks, that's the key word. But in Luke chapter 18, he tells a story about a widow woman. She's a widower, and she's going before the unjust judge. Jesus is telling this story now, and she said, Lord, avenge me of my adversary. And that was her prayer every time. And the judge, he was an unjust judge who feared not God nor man. But she kept coming, and the judge would not for a while. But after a while, he said, because this woman is bothering me about avenging her of her adversary, which is the same thing that the martyrs are doing before the throne of God. They're asking God to avenge them of those who killed him. Why would the God of forgiveness allow this unholy thing of vengeance, of people crying for vengeance, to exist before his throne? Because God is a God of justice. About with the widow, though, Jesus said that the unjust judge avenged her, and he said, do you hear what this unjust judge says? He said, would not God avenge those who cry before him night and day? He said, I tell you, he would, and he would do it speedily. He says, but nevertheless, when the Son of Man comes back, shall he find faith on the earth? Will he find the type of faith that seeks justice and goes after a God and asks God, the God who is the God of vengeance, to avenge them of their adversaries? The danger with you talking about forgiving people who only got 10 years for murder is unbiblical. And this murder here in Fort Worth, Dallas, is an example of how dangerous it is for you to be out here with this unbiblical forgiveness. Instead of seeking justice and seeking the truth, you run around with a Bible under your arms with no scriptural justification for talking about forgiving these people. And now another black person is dead. And she was just sitting in her home with her nephew playing some video games, and now she's dead. Okay? So you run on out there and keep forgiving people. And maybe somebody in your family will get something like this. But we're trying to stop this kind of stuff. And I'm not wishing that on anybody's family. God forbid that. I'm not wishing that on anyone's family. No, not at all. But I'm saying, with the frequency of this stuff happening, the likelihood of it happening to someone's family that we know is high. Okay? So no, this is why you got to have everything in order. You got to do things in order, and trying to be so holy and trying to outlove God when it comes to forgiving those who do not ask for forgiveness. You're out of order. You're far out of order, and you're out of God's range, and you're out of his word. You know? So what they need to do with this situation is to investigate it and make sure, and then you have to punish this person. I'm not talking about 10 years with half sentencing and then some time off for good behavior. Amber Geiger, she's going to be out of jail in less than 3 years. Okay? And she's out, and that's a murder case. I'm talking about plain, hands down murder. And so is this. So is this. This is dangerous. This is dangerous policing, and it should never happen here in America. Well, this is Pastor Jerone Davis, and let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next video.